You ever have someone fool the whole world while you're the only one who knows who they really are? That was my life for years. And the day I got the text, he's been arrested, everything inside me went quiet. Not happy, not excited, just still. Like the universe had finally taken a deep breath after holding it for way too long. But what happened next? Yeah. I made sure the whole world finally saw the monster behind the mask. If you've ever tasted even one drop of real vindication, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like and buckle up, because this is one of those stories where justice isn't just served, it's delivered gift-wrapped with a bow. Let's get into it. I used to date a man who, on the surface, looked like the dictionary definition of perfect. He had that charming smile, that confident laugh, the ability to make anyone feel like they were the most important person in the room. People gravitated toward him, parents adored him, co-workers respected him, strangers trusted him within minutes. And that's what made everything worse. Because behind closed doors, behind that smooth, polished exterior, was a man who treated me like I was disposable. He belittled me, manipulated me, isolated me, controlled the smallest pieces of my life. There were days I convinced myself I was the crazy one, because he was just so good at making everyone else believe he was a saint. But the truth always cracks through eventually. And when I finally got out, when I finally left, I told myself I never wanted to hear his name again. Fast forward 2 months later, my phone buzzed. A simple message from someone who knew him. He's been arrested. Serious charges. He's being extradited. I stared at the screen for a long time. I felt my heart race a little, not because I missed him, not because I cared, but because something deep inside me recognized that moment, the one where life hands you the truth on a platter. I asked for the details, and when I read them, it was like everything clicked. Every red flag I ignored. Every moment he made me question myself. Every time he gaslit his way out of accountability. All of it suddenly made perfect sense. People like him don't just change, they graduate. Their behavior escalates. And eventually they get caught. Later that night, I sat alone in my living room. The glow of my phone lighting my face while I reread the message again and again. And then something in me shifted. Not anger, not hatred, just clarity. The world finally had proof of the truth. But the world didn't know it yet. And that's when I decided I was going to help the universe finish what it started. I began with something small, something simple. He always had dating profiles, multiple ones. He'd use them even when we were together. He'd flirt, lie, and tell strangers whatever he needed to in order to keep feeding his ego. I used to confront him about it, and he'd always claim they were old accounts or jokes or not active. You know, classic excuses from someone who thinks they're smarter than everyone around them. So I opened one of the apps he used to love, typed his name, and there he was, smiling in pictures he probably took right after calling me crazy. talking about how he was a good man who cared about honesty and building trust. I reported the profile, not just with the typical fake account or spam tag. No, I wrote every detail of his arrest in the report. .com, factual, precise, 24 hours later, banned, gone, account deleted, one less place where he could hurt someone else. Then I moved on to another app, reported that to it, and another, and another. And slowly, one by one, the carefully crafted digital image he built for himself started disappearing. But I wasn't done. Not even close. I opened Facebook, a platform he adored. He used it to show off, to look wholesome, to convince everyone he was a great guy. And I typed out a simple post. Nothing dramatic, nothing exaggerated. Just the truth. The arrest. The charges. His pattern of behavior, a calm, measured warning to the community. I didn't expect anything huge, but within an hour, my notifications exploded. People were messaging me, commenting, sharing, asking questions. And not in a gossipy way, in a concerned way, a community realizing someone they trusted wasn't who he pretended to be. That's when I got another message. Someone wrote, "You didn't hear this from me, but the newspaper got a tip. A tip." I just sat there for a moment, staring at that message, letting the satisfaction wash over me, because I never contacted the media. But people talk, and sometimes the truth grows legs all on its own. The next day, his job found out. And let me be crystal clear, I didn't call his workplace, but I did know his boss, and his boss knew me. And when people in the community started whispering, things traveled fast. He built his reputation on lies. So when those lies cracked, everything underneath crumbled instantly. But the part that surprised me the most, his best friend, someone who used to defend him with blind loyalty, reached out to me. He asked what happened. He asked if the charges were real. He asked if I ever experienced anything similar. And this time, instead of protecting my abuser, I told him the truth. Every piece of it. The parts I used to hide, the moments I used to blame myself for, the things I once thought no one would believe. He read everything, stayed quiet for a long time, and then he said something I will never forget. "I believe you." You don't understand how powerful those words felt. Not because I needed validation, but because someone who once admired my ex finally saw the reality I lived through. And now I get to sit back, hands clean, conscience clear, watching the world finally see the man he truly was. No lies. No manipulation, no charm strong enough to save him. Just truth catching up like it always does. And the best part, I didn't ruin his life. He did. I simply stopped hiding the evidence. When you endure someone like him, you learn something powerful. Silence protects abusers. Truth destroys them. And sometimes revenge isn't about hurting someone back. It's about pulling the mask off and letting the world react on its own. If you've ever had someone pretend to be good while making your life hell behind closed doors, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice isn't just deserved, it's inevitable.